Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I actually have an accordion fold card that I want to share with you that is very similar to the card that I shared last week, except for this is an actual accordion fold. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have two different card ideas which feature a very easy accordion fun fold card idea for you. Now, the cards in this video feature the Merry Snowflakes stamp set from Stampin' Up, as well as some of the beautiful stitched snowflakes dies. You guys are really going to love these. So I am also featuring the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, which means these Christmas card ideas have non-traditional Christmas colors, but they are just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you're ready to see what this fun fold card looks like? So I created a belly band, so I'm going to show you how to create this belly band. It just slides right off the top. And then here is what the fun fold looks like. Isn't that adorable? So it's really simple to create, both the belly band and the fun fold card. So I am going to show you how to create this. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to cut a piece of cardstock. So you'll want to use some cardstock that matches the designer paper that you're using. So I have a piece of mint macaron cardstock here, and it is cut at 5.5 inches by 11 inches. So this is going to be the base of our card. Then you will also want to use the leftover piece, because when you cut your card base, you're going to have some leftover cardstock. So you want to use the leftover piece to cut another piece. This is going to be your belly band. So this piece is 1.25 inches wide and it's 11 inches long. So it's the exact same length as your card base. Okay, so you're going to start by putting your cardstock in your paper trimmer so that 11-inch side is at the top of your trimmer. So our first score line is going to be at 1.25 inches. Then you're going to scoot this over to the 4-inch mark and make another score line. And then the last score line is going to be at 6.75 inches. Okay, so now that we have all our score lines, we can fold on this largest one here. And we'll just accordion fold these other ones on top of each other. And then our little one will fold back. So this is what the folds look like when the card is open. And then this is what it looks like when it's closed. So these pieces, this piece and this one, accordion fold on top of your card base. So your card base here is your standard card size. So that's 4.25 by 5.5 inches. So it's perfect. It'll fit in a regular size envelope. So let me show you how to decorate it. Okay, so we will start by just opening this up all the way, and we'll just work from the left to the right. So the first thing you will do is cut a 1 by 5.25 inch piece of designer paper. So this is just going to go on this very first section here. Next, you will cut a 2.5 by 5.25 inch piece of another pattern. So I'm just using these whimsical trees, and that's going to go on this second panel here. So the next panel, we are going to use a 2.5 by 5.25 inch piece of white cardstock. So this is the piece that you will stamp a sentiment on for the inside of your card. And so what I did is I actually embossed this snowflake right into the top of my piece. So one of the cool things about the stitched snowflakes is that you can use this inner piece here. So these two pieces actually go together. Let me show you here. They go together, and if you lay these on a piece of white cardstock, just as they are, just like this, with that little die in the center, you'll actually cut out a snowflake that has the little stitching in it. But you can also just use this little piece here instead of the outline, which cuts it out. You can just use that little embossing piece just to add a little bit of texture to your cardstock. And so it'll just emboss that image on there. It won't actually cut it out. The only way it will cut this image out is if I include the outline with it. So it's kind of cool. I really like that. So I embossed that image right into this piece of cardstock. So now I'm just going to stamp my inside sentiment, and I'm just using the mint macaron ink. And then we can go ahead and glue that right to that third panel here. And then the very last section is just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer paper. So now I'm going to take another 1 by 5 1/4 inch piece, and I'm going to add it to this flap here on the front. Okay, so now we'll fold up our card and you can see what the front looks like. So you have this on the inside, you have this little piece on the front, and all the rest of that paper is on the inside of the card. Okay, so now we can go ahead. I'm going to add just a couple other little snowflakes. So I used the die set just to create some different snowflakes here so that I could decorate this little piece. So I'm just going to add this little snowflake right here. And if you're not sure about placement, you can always close your card to make sure that you've got it in the right place. So I'm going to move mine over a little bit. So we'll add it there. And then I just cut out another little stitched snowflake, and I'm going to add it on the inside here just to kind of dress this up a little bit. Okay, so I think we're ready to close the card and create our belly band. Okay, so I like to create belly bands for my fun fold cards, especially cards that have a lot of folds in it, like this accordion fold. There's a couple folds in there. It doesn't quite lay flat. It'll lay flat for mailing when you put it in the envelope, but I like to create a little belly band to make sure that it stays flat. So I'm just going to use this 1 1/4 by 11 inch piece of the mint macaron, and I'm just going to flip this over. I'm going to turn it this way so I can see it. And I'm just going to fold these little pieces here, fold the ends up, and you just want to lightly kind of fold this down. I would not recommend scoring this, because when you score it, it just gets a little tight. So if you just kind of loosely fold this over, kind of crease down the edge, the belly band will slide off really nice. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down. So I'm going to use this larger section here. And I'm just going to glue that right onto here. Okay. So now we should have a belly band that slides pretty easily. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is just decorate my belly band. So I have already created a little greeting. So this is one of the images from the set, and I just used a die cut shape from a different die set to create, you know, this shape for the front of my card. So this is from the Hippo and Friends die set. So, so this is going to go directly on the front of our card. But before I do that, I want to add this little snowflake kind of off to the side, so that when I add this on top, the snowflake is showing through. So I think we'll add it right about there. Let's put some glue on that. And I like using liquid glue because then I can kind of scoot this around to get it where I want it. Yep, that looks pretty good. So we'll just give this a second to dry. And you want to make sure that you're only gluing the part of the snowflake that comes in contact with that belly band, because obviously you want this up here to be free floating so that you can slide the belly band off. So make sure you don't glue the snowflake directly down to the card or you won't be able to get it open. And that would not be good. All right, so then I just added a couple dimensionals straight across so they stay on my belly band. And we will add this directly in the center there. And that's really it. How easy is that? And beautiful. So we can just scoot this off. And we have our little belly band here. And then we have this beautiful card on the inside. So it's just a great way to use your designer paper. And it's just a really fun and simple fun fold card to create. All right, so here is just another design. I used the exact same measurements that I just shared with you to create this card. I just decorated it differently. I used different pattern paper, but the same concept on the inside. So there are lots of possibilities for using this fun fold design. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 2 fun fold card ideas featuring this accordion style fold that you can get started making right away. And of course, you can use any supplies that you have on hand. This works with any designer paper and any stamp set that you have. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.